Cellular respiration is a series of reactions that reduce and oxidize specific compounds to achieve ATP. These are known as glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. Glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm, whereas Krebs cycle and the electron transport chain occur in the mitochondria. The electron transport chain in specific occurs in the membrane of the mitochondria. The mitochondria has an outer mitochondrial membrane, an intermembrane space, an inner membrane, and the mitochondrial matrix, which is the inside of the mitochondria, whereas the intermembrane space is the space in between the inner mitochondrial membrane and the outer mitochondrial membrane. The outer mitochondrial membrane separates the mitochondria from its surrounding. The oxidation of NADH and FADH2 are used to power the electron transport chain by donating electrons, which is why it is called oxidative phosphorylation. The electron transport chain is the primary source of ATP within a cell, as it nets 34 ATP. Reactions made in the Krebs cycle and glycolysis result in an NADH and FADH2 from glucose. These byproducts are now to be used as energy sources to power the electron transport chain. In the first complex, palladium mononucleotide is used to oxidize NADH to NAD+. This causes 2 electrons to go to the first complex, and during this process, 2 hydrogen atoms are pumped through the membrane into the intermembrane space. From there, ubiquinone carries 2 electrons to the third complex, and in the second complex, FADH2 is oxidized to FAD+. 2 hydrogen ions are passed into the intermembrane space in the third complex as cytochrome B alters the composition of the electrons, and the second transport protein, cytochrome C, carries the electrons from the third complex to the fourth. And 2 hydrogen ions are passed in the intermembrane space again. Cytochrome A is reduced to cytochrome A3 in the fourth protein complex. Four electrons are dispensed into the mitochondrial matrix, as well as 4 electrons making their way from the fourth complex into the intermembrane space. Four hydrogen ion atoms and 1 single oxygen atom combine with the 4 electrons, netting 2 water, or H2O, in the mitochondrial matrix. The excess hydrogen ions that have been passed to the inner mitochondrial space are used 6 at a time to power the final protein complex that produces the most ATP, called ATP synthase. This is a structure that has a revolving F0 rotor powered by hydrogen atoms making their way down a concentration gradient of areas of high to low hydrogen concentration, otherwise known as chemiosmosis. The 6 electrons that pass through the rotor make their way to a spinning rod, which dispense the excess hydrogen atoms to combine with oxygen and electrons to create more water. And finally, the F1 knob catalytic site joins phosphate found in the mitochondria to ADP, thus creating ATP, our energy for our cell.